I want to thank the people that played a role in my career at Boswell. I'm very blessed to have a bunch of amazing people those 4 years. I wouldn't be up here if it were not for my family, teammates, and of course the coaches. One of the things my dad requested of me was to hustle. There's no such thing as a walk to first base. Run on the field, run off the field, whether it was practice or a game, it didn't matter. Hustle. Mom, thank you for all the sacrifices you make now and then. I love you. Dad, you're the greatest man I know. As far back as I can remember, I tried to follow in his footsteps. I wanted to be like him. I wanted to walk, talk, even sing like him. I'm talking about my brother, big brother Robert. He was one of my biggest fans. No matter where I was playing, he'd be on the sidelines or in the stands taking pictures or videos. Maybe a scrapbook, but somehow along the way I misplaced it. He has more stories about me than I can remember. He would call me every week, ask me about who we were playing. How is everybody? How's everybody feeling? Do we have any injuries? To this day, I think Wilson had him call me up and ask me, just to find out something about the team. Most know him as the stat guy, the Friday Night Lights fanatic, or the author of the Boswell book. There are a lot of brothers out there. But I get the honor and the privilege of saying Robert is my brother. Bro, you're my eldest. Love you. Thank y'all. Go Boswell.
I'm honored to be here tonight to recognize and celebrate one of my all-time favorite student athletes. After 28 years of teaching, I can honestly say some kids leave an impression that lasts a lifetime and keep us in this profession. It amazes me that she's been teaching and changing lives for 15 years already. She still looks like she could lace up her shoes and run a 400 without a second thought. It is my honor to introduce tonight Mrs. Britt Yoder-McDougal.
Okay, I need to thank my mom and dad, because if it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't have been the athlete that I was. My dad was very strict on the field and on the court. He was always up there in the stands cheering us on. He was very, very inspiring, wanted us to do our best, wanted us to be our best. That track meet, I had gone, I think I was at regionals my junior year, and I scratched, and I was supposed to win, and I went out there and did the Texas two-step, I guess you can call it, and I didn't even make finals. And we made our second trip back out there my senior year, and I scratched my first 2 jumps. And he did say it, he was like, I did not come out here to watch you do this. And my final jump of prelims made it to finals, and then that actually was the jump that got me to state. So that was my goal that I had set all 4 years. I want to say hi to Jackson and Max, my buddies over there. They're pretty awesome kids, 9 and 2. And if it wasn't for them, I said in my video, which was at the house there, my greatest accomplishments. Besides, I guess, the student athlete that I was here at Boswell. This place will always be home, although I'm not here anymore, but there's something about Saginaw, and there's something about it still hasn't changed very much. Still remember it, and it's a pretty awesome place. So Thank you all for being here. Thank you for the honor of being inducted, and it's something I'll never forget. Thank you.
John David was really and still is a great guy. You could tell that he was a yes sir, no sir kind of guy, type of guy that was really intent in his workouts and really listened to things and was, I guess, what you would call a very coachable young man. Some of the things that I really look back on with John David, and just like you said, Coach, you always have those people that stand out in your mind. It was that junior year, what he went through, to be able to work himself into getting to the state meet that year, I think speaks volumes for John David. I mean, and the things that he was able to accomplish not only his junior year, but also his senior year. So John David, I appreciate the man that you've become, the father, the husband that you've become. And it's my honor to have John David Grier come up.
How's this? Can you guys hear? So, real quick, Jay, before we put the big plaque up on the wall, can we please Photoshop this picture and take it and roll it out? And Dad, what were you thinking to let your son have a haircut like this? Real quick, I want to thank probably my two biggest fans in high school. My dad, David Grier. Craig Sanderson was like he's my brother-in-law. He was like my older brother. I've known him for 30 plus years, and they were always by my side. I have a lot to be thankful for, but it was Coach McMillan my junior year, for that very 7 or 8 months that we had time together, that really made me who I am today, right? You can be a great athlete and that only take you so far. Coaching absolutely matters, right? Coach McMillan's proof for me. Coach Stapler came in our senior year, took a collective group of guys that really didn't seem like nobody wanted, and he was able to put together a very strong, competitive football team and take Boswell to the playoffs for the first time in years. So I say that because I'm very appreciative of the dedication that coaches put into these young men. And they did. We finished track at 2:33. I would continue to put in the work till Mom and Dad could come and get me at 4:30 or 5 once they get off work. And obviously that helped, right? But I don't think I would have done that if I didn't get to the state meet that prior year with Coach McMillan's help. Because now all of a sudden, that fueled me. And I said, you know what? Maybe I do belong here. Maybe Coach McMillan is right. Maybe I am kind of a decent athlete. Maybe I can compete with some of the best. And once I got a taste of that, that's all I needed. So I took all that was really taught to me the year before, and I ran with it. So fortunately for me, I was healthy, ended up going the entire season, only losing in the 300s in the state meet. Went undefeated in the 110s. Great time, great opportunity. Kristen, Garrett, Jack, Pops, Craig, thank you guys for all you do. I wouldn't be who I am without you. Coach McMillan, really appreciate you coming here and introducing me. Big influence on my life, big influence. So I thank you for that. Offensive line coach and a phenomenal track coach. And for me, that was the difference. That was a difference that a coach had in my life that kind of catapulted my success my senior year. So I think I'll leave it at that. I just want to thank the committee again for all you guys done. It's fantastic. It's a great event. Jay, thank you again for calling me in October, and appreciate you. Thank you.
Okay, Dad, we just want want you to know how proud we are of you. We don't think that there's anyone more deserving in our eyes. We're so thankful for the lessons and experiences that your hand's been in throughout our lives, and that you've been there, present from day one with both of us and our family in this community. We thank you for everything you do for us and everyone here as well. You truly are one of a kind. We love you, and congratulations.
Wow. I paid them $100 a piece to say all that. I can remember in football, we were in the playoffs, we were playing Atlanta at Mesquite Field. My dad bought me some new turf shoes because we were playing on turf. We went down to TCU at the time, they had turf. We worked out on their turf field, and I said, Dad, I need some shoes. So he got me these turf shoes, and I couldn't run in them. I was tripping all over the place. But we pull up to the stadium, we unload from the bus, and we walk out on the field, and my mom, and my dad, and my brother sitting in the stands. Okay, that's how much they loved it. They were there before the team was there. All right, they were prepared. When I think of them, and I look up at this wall, and there's two little blocks up there. They're a mausoleum. It's got their names and all that stuff, and it's got the date they were born, and it's got the date that they died. I can't remember those dates, but I can remember the dash, and I know y'all have heard of that. I can remember the dash in the middle, and they truly loved their kids, the community's kids, and supporting Ricky and Chuck and all these kids that here, Steve Newcomb. They enjoyed watching kids play and compete. So what I'm going to talk to you about tonight is some other dashes. 12-1-1. Okay, the one in the middle was a tie that we won in football. So I always slide that over to 13-1. Okay, I mean, today that's what they do, right? You win in overtime? Well, we won the overtime game. So now we're 13-1 in football. Had a phenomenal football team. I can't tell you how good we were, okay? Defensively, I think we were really solid. We were really solid defensively. I think if you get the books out, Robert Walton probably throw this stuff out, they might have scored on average 8 or 9 points a game against us, okay? Now, we ran for over 400, 500 yards a game. We were led by Danny Henson, okay? Danny was a great football player and a great athlete. He's already been inducted in the Hall of Fame. Now we're going to skip to track. We were 5-2 in track. We won 5 track meets and we lost 2. We placed second in those 2. Somebody mentioned we had a mile relay team, pretty special. Held the record. I think my kids talked about it. They've already heard all these stories, by the way. 2008, I'm in the timer stand, timing. Had a feeling. Perfect night, right, Coach? Perfect night. I had a feeling. So I tried to get the number 1 spot so I could time the winning team. They wouldn't let me have it, so I had to take second place. Okay, so I was going to click it a little late so they wouldn't get it, but they did. But let me tell you though about that for a second. Those 4 kids came up to me after the track meet and hugged me. And that meant so much to me. They knew me, they knew my son, they knew my family, and they all came up afterwards and thanked me. We set the mile relay. Ricky Corbin, Butch Hoover, Ricky Morey, an incredible athlete at Boswell High School, and myself. stood for 30 years, and I was glad to be a part of that. I was there when it's taken down, and it's been taken down several times since then. So, and I've been there, and I'll be there again this next week or so. So track was fun. So now I guess it's time for basketball. You want to hear that dash? 2-22, baby. Now, wait a minute. Let me tell you something. Coach Kraft, John Kraft, taught me more. John David, kind of like you, okay? He taught me so much about character, about pride, about caring for your teammate, about loving your teammate. 22 losses, not one of the speeches were the same. Wasn't the same. They were all different. Okay? So I thank you for that, Coach. And I thank you for a lot of things, not just you, but your wife as well. I love you, Coach John, Miss Kraft, you're awesome, both of you. Coach Kraft nominated me, so I have to say that stuff. No, I sincerely mean that. Y'all know that. He has been there for me time and time again. And I'm talking day in and day out. I could call him today. He won't answer. His wife will. Okay? That's the way it works in their household. All right? But he's been there for me throughout my life. Good times, bad times. Coach Kraft's been there, and I thank you for that. And to all the committee, thanks for your votes. Ricky's going to pay you off later, so check with him. Thank you very much. Thanks for being a part of my dash.